So I lost some of my original footage changing this gearbox, the steering box. I got mine from Detroit Axle. Why? Because it was cheap and because I wanted to upgrade some of my other parts. And figure I got a brace and stuff for this anyways. Hopefully it lasts me and it works out. So the biggest struggle of this job to begin with was that I bought the wrong tool, the wrong pitman arm puller. So then I end up returning it because the one that I got, the little $15 one, the arms kept on bending out and these kept bending down. And I beat it back with a sledgehammer, tried to get it, that pitman arm pulled, and it just didn't work out. So then I ended up going back. I spent 60 more bucks at Harbor and I got this kit, and it was able to get that pitman arm off just fine. I wouldn't recommend buying that little $15 pitman arm puller from Harbor Freight. Just go ahead and get the whole set. It's a little bit sturdier and it's going to do the job versus I ended up spending about an hour and a half trying to get that one to work and just kind of wearing myself out for no reason, So when I had mine apart, I had it the steering wheel tied up like this. And since I've now pulled my steering linkages because I'm going to upgrade that to a T-style, I'm going to go ahead and cycle my steering back and forth a bunch of times and get fluid into the system and keep on filling up the reservoir. I just got this little cheap stuff here, little classic ATF. And the best method that I found to fill that down in there is a syringe. Just a little syringe that you can keep on putting small amounts at a time. Suck up a little bit of tranny fluid and put it in there. Suck up a little bit and put it in there. I was going to do it in steps. I started out with the steering box, but I got a little cheap Harbor Freight pitman arm puller that kept on bending and going around the pitman arm, not pulling it, which really damaged, And then I tried to beat out the other end with a hammer, messed up the threads. So then I was pretty much stuck doing the steering linkage too, which I already had the parts, but I didn't want to do them quite yet. But anyway, so I got the steering box all done, and then I realized that I had a leaking hose, so I had to replace that. So that was 2 days into the project, and by then, once I already had the steering linkage all undone and stuff, I was like, you know what, I've already got all these other parts. So I got these Striker control arms, upper and lower fabricated control arms to go on. And this Freedom Off-Road track bar kit, which I'm not going to say I'm entirely impressed with them or their customer service, but it's what I got and I'm going to go ahead and install it. Point in doing this over again, let's just get it done. And so I started pulling off the control arms, and that literally took me and my dad a whole day to get that side. This side, I've got this side, my bottom one broke off again. I broke off the other side too, but I've got this top one, I've got it loose. I got the back one, I got it loosed, and then I've got to get this one up in here. I got to get it loose. I've been trying and trying and trying, and it's not working out. So yeah, that's where I'm at. You see how these control arms, they were made out of like a flat piece and then rolled, and they got a seam there, and that's what I think is causing it to be so tight and seized up and stuff, and so such a pain to get apart. I'll show you different angles. You can see they're pushed out, kind of egged out right there, pointed out. And on this side, same, they're kind of pushed out, and that's where all the rust and the crud and the gunk got in and seized them up. There, it's all pushed out and funky. Yeah. We ended up going, my dad got me a air hammer. Thank you, Pops, love you, dude. So Dad came over and we worked for a whole day together, man, and we were only able to get out this size control arms. That's how difficult it was. We were running breaker bars from the inside bolt down to the ground, and then we'd have extensions all the way out here, and big breaker bar, piece of fence post on it, and we're cranking on them, man. And yeah, we got most of them out, and then we had to pound on them, beat on them with sledgehammers, have the extension way out here, and pound on the ends of the extensions, and get them out. But yeah, it was an absolute nightmare, and I've got most of the other side loosened up, but not all the way out, and I didn't want to have both sides completely all taken apart at the same time. So what I ended up having to do is use my plasma cutter. So I got the axle forward a little bit, and I was able to get this back part of the cross member, or the control arm, out, this top one, and then I was able to just completely wrench on it to keep trying to loosen it up. And then I end up having to plasma cut in through that hole and keep on moving it around and moving it around until I was able to cut this bolt all the way down into here, and then I was able to get something in there and hit it with the air hammer, and it finally came out. So this is how far I've gotten. I think I lost some footage, sat on my phone, cracked it and stuff. Well, pleasures of working in gravel. But I had to use a plasma cutter and go in through this hole and torch out around that bolt and eat away the whole tip in order to be able to push it out, because it was just so rusted and corroded and stuck in there. Yeah. Use some anti-seize when this goes back together. There's another video on here on YouTube with some suggestions how to get these out, the control arm bushings, and he used a Diablo saw blade down, you know, inside of the bracket, but next to the control arm, and he was able to cut those bolts. That's another suggestion. I didn't get to that point, and really just because I'm kind of cheap and I didn't want to go buy them. I did try my Harbor Freight Sawzall blades, and they weren't doing nothing except for wiggling on it. They weren't cutting it. It's like a grade 12 bolt. So my truck already had this RevTech lift spacer, but I just wanted to go with a little bit bigger one. I went with a 3.5 inch. Alrighty guys, so I just wanted to show you guys, these are 3.5 inch spacers, and I was able to, once my control arms were removed, I was able to drop this down far enough and get it in there. So yeah, I just had to pull my brake line loose. Drive line had plenty of slip, and with the control arms out, which was a nightmare. There we go. So got that jack back up, and I also ordered some new shocks. I got Zone off-road shocks for a 3-inch lift. I figure they'll be fine for a 3.5 too. They are a little bit longer than the ones that I took out of the truck. They're older and blown out and whatnot, so look forward to that. Got all new brake shoes, calipers, rotors, discs, whatever's, you know, all that stuff. And I know that I need to do ball joints and an axle seal, but stay tuned. Not quite there yet. We got to get through this first. So alrighty guys, so that's why I haven't done a video really this week. I was really trying to get through some of these projects and get them buttoned up, but by things not coming apart and needing to get new bolts ordered and whatnot, it's not going all that quick. So hit like, hit subscribe. Sorry it's taking a minute, but yeah, you guys see what I'm doing and what's to come. So I'll have a few better videos of all these projects broken up into pieces in the next few weeks. So alright guys, hit like, and subscribe. Till next time, keep building shit.